Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that takes a look at players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to the Arsenal. And the rumour that has been really hotting up today has been the one about Morgan Schneiderlin. Now, Schneiderlin, at the start of the summer, and even before then, has been heavily linked with a move to Arsenal. Many people thought to themselves that whatever the first deal will be done, it will be Morgan Schneiderlin. Most of the talk has recently centred around Petr Cech joining, but Schneiderlin was the player that most sort of experts and pundits thought that, if anything, this is Arsenal's #1 target. And then everything's been going cold on it. But all of a sudden, Schneiderlin's come out over in France. He's done an interview and he said, listen, I am leaving Southampton. And I'm going to decide, my future will be decided in the next few days. And all of a sudden, the rumours linking him to Arsenal have just gone through the roof. Now, we were being told that Manchester United were the favourites to sign him. They'd emerged as the favourites. We're also being told that Spurs, of course, his old manager, Koscielny, is there at Spurs. We've been told that Spurs were the team that want him. But I very much doubt the Spurs one because from all accounts, Schneiderlin wants to play Champions League football and Spurs haven't got that. Manchester United, of course, yes, that is a strong rumour that is still there. But it's interesting that the bookies have slashed odds on him joining Arsenal. I mean, a lot of the bookies, and bookies don't get a lot of things wrong, remember, that's why they've got so much money. A lot of them seem to think that the place where he's going to end up now is going to be Arsenal. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. It looks like it's one of those two clubs, Arsenal or Manchester United. Schneiderlin, I think, for Arsenal will be a brilliant signing. I mean, if we get Schneiderlin, if we get Petr Cech, all of a sudden, the spine of that Arsenal team starts to look really good. And, you know, it's a no-brainer for me. I mean, we've seen players that Arsenal were linked to, for instance, like Kondogbia, and it looks like Arsenal were definitely talking to Kondogbia, but it looks like their main target could possibly be Schneiderlin. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. We all know what happens with things like this. They can change very rapidly, but at the moment, all the sounds that seems to be emanating around at the moment seems to be that Schneiderlin could end up being an Arsenal player. And for me, that would be an excellent signing. I mean, you guys let me know what you think. Do you think that Schneiderlin would be a fantastic signing for Arsenal? I mean, it just gives you him and Koscielny, you know, battling it out for that position in midfield would be absolutely brilliant for me. I mean, you've got two top quality players who can play that defensive midfield position. And even Schneiderlin as well. He can also be like a box-to-box midfielder as well. What I'd say with him, a lot more skillful than, say, Koscielny. Very good passer of the ball as well, which, of course, is always going to go down well in the Arsenal midfield. And he can be no-nonsense as well. So I think it would be a fantastic signing if we could get Morgan Schneiderlin in. You start to see a team being put together that can challenge for the title. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Is Schneiderlin that signing, you know, along with Cech, that all of a sudden you start to see a title winning team? However, this morning and yesterday, rumours flying all over the place that Laurent Koscielny is being targeted by Real Madrid. They're lining up apparently a £22 million bid for Koscielny. £22 million. They have to pay more than that if they wanted him. But they're lining up a £22 million bid for Koscielny just in case they lose Sergio Ramos. And of course, Sergio Ramos is wanted by Manchester United. We're being told today Manchester United will be willing to pay upwards of £35 million to sign Ramos. Good player, Ramos. But what we're reading is that if Ramos goes, then Real Madrid will move in for Koscielny. Not sure where this has come from. It could be Madrid. Listen, they've got negotiations ongoing at the moment with Ramos. They're both playing hardball. Ramos is playing hardball with Real Madrid. Real Madrid playing hardball with him. This could be Real Madrid saying, well, hold on a minute. You think, we'll go and we'll line up another target, and, don't think that you've got all the power. Listen, Koscielny's on a long-term contract at Arsenal. Arsenal don't have to sell him, would want to hold on to him. But the problem is, as we know, that any time a club like Real Madrid comes into a player or Barcelona, it does turn your head. I mean, they win titles. They get to, they win Champions Leagues. They are, considered to be, world's biggest club. It does turn your head when a club like Real Madrid gets mentioned. So you can't just discount it out of hand. I don't think that Arsenal will sell Koscielny. I think Arsenal would hold on to Koscielny because he's one of their main players. And if you're trying to build a title-winning team, you want to hold on to one of the main parts of your jigsaw. So I don't think Arsenal, especially at £21 million, there'd be nothing to gain from doing that. However, it's just I'm hoping that if, say, Ramos did leave, it wouldn't be a sort of thing that would have his head turned. He's only got to look at what's happened to Vermaelen. I know Vermaelen's been injured, but, his move so far to Barcelona hasn't gone well. And there's been other players that have gone to so-called bigger clubs and it hasn't worked out for them. But I'm hoping that this Koscielny thing is just something where people are putting two and two together and it's just a rumour, because I don't think the club would want to sanction a move at all for a player of Laurent Koscielny's quality, experience now. We need him. He's a vital component for us this season in the Premier League. Arsenal have made a signing. Yes, we have made a signing. He's goes by the name of Vlad Dragomir. It hasn't been announced yet. He's only 16 years of age. Yes, all right. I know we always seem to get these deals done. These are the deals that we always seem to get done so easily and so straightforward. But he's only 16 years of age. He's Romanian. He's the Romanian under-16 captain. And he used to play for a team called ACS Poly. Also paid 100,000 euros compensation to them to bring him in. And they signed him on a 3-year deal. He's being likened to... I always love these comparisons, because you always get these comparisons when you're talking about these players. He's being likened to Paul Pogba. That is certainly a lot to live up to. Let's see if he can live up to that. I think Bielik was being likened to Pogba as well, wasn't he? But yes, that has been a signing that Arsenal has made, so look out for him. Should be announced sometime next week, but it is a done deal. Another player that Arsenal are looking at today that we're being told is a Algerian defender, goes by the name of Fouziel Goulam. He's been tracked by Arsenal. We're also being told that he's been tracked by Real Madrid. That's according to French Eurosport. He previously played for Saint Etienne. As I said, he's Algerian, 24 years of age. Price would be about £10.7 million. And he is a left back. We're getting linked to all these left backs. And I don't know, I find it strange how we're being linked to so many left backs, because I would have thought that that's one position that we're very secure in. We've got Monreal, we've got Kieran Gibbs, both of them who can battle it out for those places. So, again, I'm not too sure about this one, if it's something that will happen. But we are being linked to, we've been told today by French Eurosport that Arsenal do have an interest, are looking at this guy. So let's see what happens. He plays, of course, for Napoli at the moment. And finally, Petr Cech. When is this deal going to get done? I mean, it seems to be the worst kept secret out there that Petr Cech is going to sign for Arsenal. But in true Arsenal style, it's being dragged out. We've been told now that it's probably going to get announced sometime next week. Even there's been suggestions somewhere that, there was a little hitch and blah, blah. But I think this deal is definitely going to get done. All Arsenal fans can't wait to, see Cech signing for Arsenal, because it's just going to be such a major signing for Arsenal. But we're being told that possibly sometime next week this will get announced. I'm sure I heard that last week and the week before that. But we're going to have to be patient with this one. But it does look like it is going to get over the line, and that Cech will be having a medical imminently and will sign for Arsenal Football Club. And that, again, as I said, will be a very exciting signing. Let's get into your guys' comments, see what you guys have had to say. Right. Oscar Guevara says, it's important that we don't let Koscielny leave. He's our best defender, and just think about how many times he's saved Arsenal. We can't let Koscielny leave. Koscielny is a very, very important player for Arsenal. You know, and I don't think Arsenal will be looking to sell Koscielny. There's no way they're going to want to sell him. But as I said, you always got to worry when Madrid or Barcelona coming for a player, because it does turn the heads of players. Oscar also says there aren't any world-class strikers we can realistically get. I reckon we should give Walcott a chance and play him as a striker, just like we did a couple of seasons ago. And that's the question I was asking about yesterday. What strikers are out there do we get? I mean, we've been, you know, we were talking about Carlos Bacca yesterday. Very good striker, world-class, better than what we got. I don't know. King Abdul says, honestly, I'm happy to keep what we have, i.e. Joel Campbell, Giroud, Welbeck, Sanogo, Akpom, etc., so that we can wait a year for Leon to see if they'll sell Lacazette, I think he's saying there. Again, you know, it's what strikers are out there that are available. I mean, listen, the Lacazette thing, I suppose if we went out there and came in with a real aggressive bid with a lot of money, maybe they'll be tempted to sell. That's what it's going to take to move a player that's playing at a team that, you know, the team don't have to sell him. And that is the problem as well at the moment. And the only way to move players like that to get them is that you have to be very, very aggressive. Red and White Victoria says, we will not sign a striker unless Podolski, Sanogo and Campbell are either sold or loaned with an ambition to later sell. Listen, and I think he says, on the contrary, let's not forget Akpom, who's lightning quick. He makes intelligent runs and he can score. He's young, but why can't he have the same effect as Coquelin last season? I'd like to see Wenger give these guys a chance. Now, listen, the problem is that if you want to win the title, yes, you know, you bring Akpom in, you can give Akpom games in the League Cup and see how he gets on, and if he's progressing, then you can try and promote him up a bit. But to win that league, to win that Premier League, you need top class players in there right now. The players that he's suggesting there, Podolski, Sanogo, Campbell, I think they will all be moved out of the club this summer. So it does make way if we do want to bring a striker in. Daniel Lee says, Benzema or Cavani for strikers? They're both world class and 27 years of age. Wenger needs to spin big to complete the puzzle to win the title. Benzema, yes. I'd go all out for Benzema, although I do worry he's slightly past his peak. Cavani, I'm just not sold on Cavani no more. For the sort of money, listen, if you could get a bargain deal for Cavani, I'd say yes. But to me, Cavani, I don't know, over the last couple of seasons, I've not seen anything of that real world-class striker that he used to be. Andrea says Lacazette, that's who he'd like to get. Sharky Mohammed says, I don't think we need a striker as it may disrupt the team chemistry, but also the players linked are not worth it. Most are overpriced and very old. But Aubameyang, he likes him. The striker, of course, who plays for Dortmund. Hikresh says, hi, Robbie. There are only two world-class strikers that Arsenal can bring to the Emirates. Karim Benzema, a great striker, who's still in the shade of Ronaldo, and he reckons he could move, or Sergio Aguero. And he goes on to say he knows it's impossible, but that is listen, and that's why I don't even mention Sergio Aguero, because there's no way they're going to sell him. If they did sell him, he'd be going to Madrid. Madrid are desperate for Sergio Aguero, but it's just not going to happen. City are not in a position, don't have to be in a position to sell him. Last one here, Cole says, I would like Baka or Aubameyang. He said, we pretty much have Cech. These two would be great additions to Arsenal. There isn't anyone else that we really need. I disagree. I think if Schneiderlin, I actually think that Schneiderlin or somebody in that defensive midfielder position is even more important than a striker, because we do have, if you look at that striking position, I'm not saying, by the way, that we shouldn't get a striker. I'd like to see us get a world-class striker. But what I'm saying is, if you look at our forward line, you've got Giroud, of course, is the main striker. You've got Walcott, who can play as a striker. You've got Welbeck, who can play as a striker. You've also got Alexis Sanchez, who can play as a striker. And across that front three, you've got goals. You've got a lot of goals there. So, yes, whilst we want a world-class striker, we want to see a new Henry in there or somebody like that. But if that's not available, I think more key to Arsenal are the positions that it looks to be that we could be filling in the goalkeeper, which I think would be a fantastic signing in Cech. And if you've got somebody of Schneiderlin or somebody similar to that who's very strong in that position, I think that would be two marvellous signings for Arsenal. All of a sudden, you start to see a really strong spine. And that's why it's so essential to hold on to a guy like Koscielny, because Koscielny is important in that spine. And I just hope that Arsenal, well, listen, Gazidis said the other day they're not looking to sell any of their main players. So, listen, it's only looking good at the moment. In the transfer market at the moment, the moves that Arsenal seem to be looking to make, for me, they're looking very, very positive. Thanks for watching Transfer Daily today. We'll be back tomorrow about the same time with more Arsenal transfer rumours.